did a power rankings on Sunday. So what's your
the way I said that, I was like, why did I say it like that? I do.
I do.
Okay.
All right. So give us your updated top 5 power ranking.
Okay. It has changed significantly. Now, I'm going to say this. No one's going to believe me, but whatever. It's not because of all the pushback. It is how I really, truly felt. But it's kind of hard to ignore that the Dodgers are kind of in a major slump right now. Last 10 games, they're 4-6. They were one of the higher run differential. Now they're pretty low. They're at a plus 58. I mean, it's not terrible. I mean, plus 58 is still good. But it's nowhere near where they were earlier in this year. So they're starting to kind of slump down a little bit. The Giants are kind of hanging around the Dodgers now, which is kind of sad. I mean, I hate that. And right now, the Diamondbacks are in first in the NL West. So I have the Dodgers at 2. I will say they have dropped down significantly. So I'll say that.
Okay.
So I know a lot of people want to be like, I can't believe you had the Dodgers over the Rangers. Well, listen, at that time, I still felt good. And there was a comment that you had sent me. And listen, it's a valid comment. Listen, this is all my opinion. So great. You disagree with me, that's fine. You're taking it way too seriously than I am. But anyway, which I do take. I mean, I actually work pretty hard at how I do my power rankings, but I mean, let's calm down a little bit. All right. Anyway, they had said, the Rangers, they're doing the exact same thing that you made the argument for the Dodgers. And I actually said this to you, Cody. I actually disagree with that. Now, what the Rangers are doing is great. They've rejuvenated John Gray, which is incredible. I mean, this guy was almost had one foot out of the league, almost. And then Nathan Eovaldi is having another resurgence too, which is great. And he always had the stuff. He just never could stay healthy or gave up too many runs. And right now he's pitching phenomenally, arguably in a Cy Young contention. So there is those factors. But my argument was what the Dodgers are overcoming is more impressive. And they say, well, that's the same thing with the Rangers. No, I would disagree because the Dodgers have had Walker Buehler for years now. Walker Buehler has been their ace for 2, 3, 4 years now. He's been a solid ace for the Dodgers throughout that time. He got hurt, and now they're having to figure out how to play without him. Now, when you talk about the Rangers, they had Jacob deGrom. Jacob deGrom signed a 5-year, $185 million contract. But he only played a month. You haven't learned how to play with him. He's just been the picture, And so to me, it was more so the Dodgers are trying to figure out and have figured out how to play without their ace, whereas the Rangers are overcoming a 5-year, $185 million contract that now looks almost like, well, this is kind of what you get for paying that much for a guy who gets hurt all the time. But I do feel bad for him because it looked like he was coming back. I was telling you, I have him on fantasy, and they were like, he's got a bullpen session. He was up to 75 pitches. And you're like, oh, he's coming back. Yeah. And they were like, oh, he's going to have a rehab assignment. They're going to check him out one more time before he starts his rehab. Checked him out, and they're like, oh, he's got Tommy John surgery. And I was like, what the heck? Where did that come from?
That escalated quickly.
Good Lord. They were saying, like, oh, he's good. He's ready to come back. So that was crazy. But anyway, so that was my argument. So, but here's my power rankings. First, I have the Rays. I don't think I need to explain anything. They're still the number 1 team. Look, Shane McClanahan, the pitcher, the ace for the Rays, phenomenal. This guy is absolutely dealing right now. He's got the best ERA in baseball right now, and I mean it's pretty. I don't want to say it's like pretty close, but it is. It's a close race with the ERA. But McClanahan 9-1. This guy, when he pitches, he's winning. I mean, he's got 13 starts. He's got 9 wins, only 1 loss. He wins when he's pitching. His strikeouts, he's at 87 strikeouts, which is not the highest, but it's pretty darn good, and the average against him is 210. So his whip is a little high for what I like to see, and I think it's mainly his walks because he's allowed 29 walks and he's got 58 hits allowed in 75 innings pitched. So the whip is a little higher. It's a 1.15, but that's just, I mean, at that point, it's really not that big of a deal when your ERA is that low. So you're allowing guys on, but you're getting out of it pretty easily. So that's what that shows me. So very impressed with Shane McClanahan. So Rays number 1. Rangers, I put at 2. There you go, random guy. Jacob deGrom being hurt, but it is going to be a blow, and I think you're going to see it start to accumulate a little bit over the course of the season. But like I said, the resurgence with Nathan Eovaldi, who is 8-2 with a 2.24 ERA and only 12 starts, he's doing phenomenally. He's normally a big strikeout guy. His strikeouts have gone down, 77 strikeouts. He's allowed 61 hits, but his walks, his control has always been somewhat of an issue because if he's around the plate, he's usually like down the middle of the plate. But he always had elite stuff where he would get away with it. Now he's learned to control his pitches, and now he's only walked 14 guys. He's got a whip of .93, and opposing batters are hitting .213 off him. So he's doing a fantastic job. John Gray, this guy was supposed to be the second coming for the Colorado Rockies, and he ended up leaving. Gets to the Rangers here, and all he's doing last year, I was surprised. I'm honestly surprised that the Rangers kept him, to be perfectly honest, with how bad he was last year. But he's got an ERA of 2.32 in 12 games started. He's got a 6.2 win-loss record. He's got 63 strikeouts, so his strikeouts aren't high. But again, the walks, he's only got 20 walks, which is actually really good for John Gray. He's always been a big walk guy. This is the number that I'm most impressed with him. Now, he has one less start than McClanahan does, so McClanahan has allowed a few more, but 51 hits with John Gray. John Gray was a guy that if you made contact, the ball was going out. Not only are they not making contact, but they're also, when they are, it's not getting out of the ballpark. This is a huge, huge deal for John Gray. He's got a .96 whip and opposing batting average against John Gray. This is one of the more impressive ones I've seen so far, 201.
Wow.
Yeah. So Rangers are doing something right with their pitching staff right now. Do I think it'll last? I do think that they are still going to be a good team. I think Eovaldi is going to step back a little bit. I do think John Gray is going to step back just because history tells us. And I think their hitters are still somewhat inconsistent. I think Seager is a consistent hitter. I think Semien is a consistent hitter, but the rest of that team has proven over the years that they can be very inconsistent. So that's what I would say. So I do see a step back for the Rangers, but right now, playing great ball. Can't argue it. Then we have number 3. I have the Atlanta Braves, and mainly I'm really focusing on pictures right now. I'm sorry, but Bryce Elder for the Braves, this guy is right now my big-time favorite to win Cy Young for the NL. This guy is amazing. I mean, he just every time he's pitching, he's striking out like it just seems like he's just striking out a ton of guys. But also, he's just getting the outs. I mean, he has 12 starts. He's only win record is 4-0, but the Braves had a really slow start. So I'm going to attribute it to that. But he's pitched in 71.23 innings. He's allowed 61 hits. He has 21 walks, 64 strikeouts. He's got a 1.14 whip and a opposing batting average of 232. So it's not the best like I was giving the other numbers, but Bryce Elder has been an ace where he shouldn't have been an ace. I forget the other kid that they have. I think it's Strider. That guy has been Good Lord, that guy's been strikeouts. I mean, he's striking out 9 guys every game. I mean, it's ridiculous. So their pitching is starting to really get in that groove, like I was talking about last week.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like I said, Ronald Acuna, he's playing like an MVP, NL MVP level right now, and he could potentially be the first 40-40 guy that we've seen. So the Braves have a lot going for them right now. So at number 4, I have the New York Yankees.
Okay.
I still have them up pretty high because, like I said, I still trust the Yankees over the Orioles, which is kind of sad because last year in the postseason, I was like, I don't trust the Yankees. But listen, they just signed Carlos Rodon to a big contract, and we haven't seen him. He hasn't played. But, Garrett Cole has been phenomenal still. His ERA is not – well, his ERA is 2.82. I mean, it's not bad. He's 7-0 in 13 starts, so that's fantastic. The other pitcher they just got back was Luis Severino, who is a really good pitcher. Now, he is a very injury-prone type pitcher, so I'm sure we might see him hurt again, unfortunately. But he is a tremendous pitcher when he is pitching for the Yankees, and it's great to have him if you're a Yankee fan. Another pitcher that they have, Nestor Cortez. Sorry, I totally blanked on his name. He's not been as good as he was last year, but he's still pretty solid. They have so many guys that have stepped up and are pitching well, and then that lineup is hitting really well. I mean, it's just kind of hard to ignore. So, Aaron Judge is still doing Aaron Judge things. I think his batting average is a little bit down, but I mean, I imagine that'll be over quickly, and he'll be back to where his normalcy is. So
once he's off the IL.
Oh, did he just go on the IL? I
think he went on yesterday or today for a right toe.
Oh, I didn't see that. Okay. Well, anyway, he's going to come back and
it's okay. They got Stanton. It's fine.
Yeah, Giancarlo's thing. Yeah,
I know
Stanton, who literally can only play DH now. Then I have. You'll be happy about this one because you were so mad that I didn't have him on here. Baltimore Orioles at 5. I have to put the Orioles. Listen, this is what I'm saying is I do like the Dodgers, and I would probably have them 6, and I know that's big controversy. Oh, my God, how could you have them 6 over the Diamondbacks? Listen, I just trust the Dodgers more than the Diamondbacks right now. The Diamondbacks are playing great ball. They've been a little more consistent than what the Dodgers have. They're only at a game and a half above the Dodgers. And, I'm sorry. What history tells me, the Diamondbacks are a very young team. They're going to step back. So I'm going to be cautiously optimistic for Arizona. It's not that I hate you. I mean, I'm not a fan of you, of course, but, and I'd much rather you guys succeed than the Dodgers. But at the same time, it's just I have to be realistic in my view. So Orioles are at 5 for me. This is a very young team, but this team is playing really well. And listen, they don't strike out a ton. They really don't. And they're always playing hard. I can't tell you how important, especially as a Giants fan, can't tell you how important it is to have a catcher who is so consistent, who is playing almost every day. When Buster Posey was young and he was playing like literally every day for the Giants, it was like one less thing that you had to worry about. Like you just, what the guy is going to do day in and day out. And that's Adley Rutschman. I mean, this guy is just spectacular. But the other guy, the unsung hero right now for Baltimore, I say hero like he's this pitching god, but Tyler Wells. He's been pitching really well for the Orioles. He's got 11 starts out of 12 games total pitched. He's got a 3.29 ERA, so that's good. He's allowed 44 hits in only 68 innings pitched, so a lot fewer than the other guys. 14 walks. This is the key. 14 walks, 70 strikeouts.
Holy cow.
In only 68 innings pitched.
Jeez.
That tells you how dominant he is. He's striking out guys right now. He's got a whip of .85, and this is this is Shohei Ohtani-esque because Shohei Ohtani is opposing batting average against him is a whopping 175. Tyler Wells right now 178.
Dang.
So he's not only striking guys out, but also when these guys are putting the ball in play, it's not really going very far.
Yeah.
So, very impressed with this Tyler Wells. Do I see him making a step back? Probably. I could see him, moving on back a little bit, but this is impressive for the Orioles right now. They have a legit team.
All right, give it to me one more time, 1 through 5.
So number 1, I have the Tampa Bay Rays. Number 2, I have the Texas Rangers. That's for you, random guy. Number 3, I have the Atlanta Braves. Number 4, I have the New York Yankees. And number 5, I have the Baltimore Orioles.